Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Ariell and I do beauty tutorials and reviews and also lifestyle vlogs and fashion videos. So today I'm gonna give you guys another foundation review. So the review today is gonna be on the new Dior foundation. So Dior has, it's not quite new, but Dior has two quote-unquote new foundations, which is the Forever Skin Glow foundation, and then there's like a Forever Matte foundation. So I'm going to do the review on the Skin Glow foundation today, and it's sort of a reformulation. So this foundation came out last year and they've reformulated it, and so yeah, this is what we're going to cover today. I got it in the color 5W from Sephora, so I'm going to give you the claims of this foundation, what it is, and this is from the website. Dior foundation, it's supposed to have the 24-hour wear, okay, radiant, medium to full coverage and hydration with 86% skincare ingredients to visibly improve skin over time. So it's supposed to give you a medium to full coverage, and it's supposed to add hydration to the skin and sort of have a radiant glow to it. This is my very first time using and working with this foundation. It seemed more like a semi-matte foundation to me, but of course, if you've ever watched any of my foundation reviews, I always come back later tonight. So at the end of the video, you will see my final thoughts after I've worn the foundation over 6 hours or so. The way they suggest that you apply it is to begin by patting a small amount in like your more problematic areas with the most pigmentation, and use a foundation brush to go ahead and blend it out. And so I did use a foundation brush and I did apply it in those problem areas first before I blended it out. So yeah, if you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. Okay, you guys, so you should know by now when it comes to prepping the skin for trying a new foundation, I really don't. So when I try a new foundation, I like to put it on bare skin just so I can see how the product performs on its own, if you get what I'm saying. So we're gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up, the Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation, and this is in the color 5W. Boom, so here we go. The color looked pretty accurate. It does say shake well before use. So we're gonna shake this up. When I read the best way to apply the foundation, the website does encourage you to use a makeup brush instead of like a beauty blending sponge or any other tool. So that's what we're gonna do today. It does have a pump, which most foundations do at this point. Only just a drop came out. So we're gonna do 1 pump, 2 pumps. So we're gonna start off with 2 pumps. It's sort of on the, it's not super runny, but it's not super thick either. When I pull my, and this is how I gauge it, y'all. I usually pump it on the back of my hand, and if it sort of drips down, that's how I can tell the consistency, and it does move down slowly. So I would say it's sort of a medium consistency. It's not too thick, but it's not super thin either. What I'm gonna do is take the product on my finger and apply it to the areas that I need the most coverage first. And I'm gonna be careful not to put too much on my forehead because my forehead is relatively clear, so I don't need too much product on here. We wanna go for the most natural look that we can with covering the pigmentation at the same time. So since we don't need a lot here, we're not gonna apply a lot there. So, I mean, I still have a decent amount on the back of my hand. We're gonna get started with what we have now. The brush that I'm gonna use is one of these Real Technique brushes. They're like one of those densely packed foundation brushes. And you guys, you could probably get this brush at any drugstore. So let's go ahead and blend this out. So you guys, 2 pumps was plenty, definitely plenty. It looks like it's just about a half a shade darker than my skin tone, but that's okay. Once we add the highlighting, then it will work itself out. So I'm not too much bothered by that part. It does have a floral smell. It's not the same floral smell as that Chanel Foundation's floral smell. This is more of like a gardenia smell with the floral. It smells like flowers, but a different type of flower than the Chanel one, and it's just a different feel altogether. When I applied the Chanel foundation, that smell puts you in the mind of shopping in like the luxury section of the beauty products in like Neiman's or Nordstrom or something. This is not that smell. But it's still a pleasant smell if you like gardenias. I don't, so I'm not too crazy about it, but I mean, some people may like it. So to conceal the pigmentation that I can still see, I'm gonna use MAC's Prolong Wear Concealer in the color NC45. And the reason I choose to use this particular concealer for the pigmentation to cover it up is because the product is super thin, so I'm able to get the maximum amount of coverage with the thinnest amount of product. So it doesn't make our foundation look cakey at all, and I really like that about this concealer. This concealer is supposed to be a medium to full coverage, and it is definitely that. I can tell that right off the bat. I didn't even use 2 whole pumps, and it has a lot of coverage. So if I used like a beauty blender sponge or something like that, it would be a little bit more sheer than this, which would definitely be medium. I feel like the brush gave it closer to a full coverage. The beauty blender sponge is gonna shear it out a little bit and give it closer to a medium coverage. So the next time I try this foundation, I definitely wanna use the beauty blender sponge, because at this stage, I definitely like a little less foundation. Medium is more like my vibe at this point. So for concealer, I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty concealer to highlight my highlighted areas in the color 400W. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I was a little bit nervous about doing this foundation review today, only because y'all know my experience with the Chanel foundation. It had that floral smell, y'all, and it really took a toll on my skin. I definitely had some sort of reaction to it, and I think it's because of that floral skincare that was in it, but this does have a different smell, so it might be a different formula. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna take one for the team for y'all. So you just wanna blend it out, make it seamless. The more seamless your blending is, you guys, the more natural of an appearance you're gonna get. The more pleasant of an appearance of your foundation it will be, even if it's full coverage, you know, even if it's like that beat down makeup look, it looks better the better blended it is, of course. So I'm gonna go back in with that foundation brush. The leftover foundation that may still be within the hairs of this brush. So we're not gonna add any more product, but where the concealer ends and the foundation begins, we're just gonna take that brush, and whatever leftover is just gonna help it to blend a little bit more, just like that. Pro tip. That's a pro tip for you guys. If you struggle with the blending part, just take your foundation brush that you use. Don't put any extra product on it, but just use it to kind of merge in between, and that'll give you like that more flawless blend with your foundation and concealer. Okay, you guys, we're gonna go in with the Huda Beauty. This is called the Tantour Contour and Bronzer Cream, using the color medium. It's sort of a cream to powder like formula. Gonna take a Real Techniques contour brush and go right into the product. Using a flat shader brush, I think this is just like a e.l.f. shader brush. I'm gonna go into that same contour color and do some nose contour. I'm gonna brighten up the highlighted areas just a little bit more. So I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer, and this one is in the color Deep Caramel. I'm gonna make sure that I concentrate the color just in that inner corner. I don't wanna bring it all the way down to cover the rest of the concealer, the medium tone concealer. We're gonna kind of try to keep it to that area right here. To set my highlighted areas, I'm gonna go in with the Mercier Loose Translucent Powder. One thing I do notice, and I know I'm gonna have to give this time, and y'all know like with all my other foundation reviews, I'm gonna come back tonight. So make sure you watch till the end of the video. I'll come back tonight and show you guys how the foundation wore throughout the day. But one thing I'm noticing is this is supposed to be the skin glow, and I don't see much glow from this foundation. But like I said, let me wear this a little while and see. Usually a skin glow foundation, it just kind of has like a more creamy or luminous look, and this looks sort of semi-matte to me, but I'll give it a few hours. Like I said, I'll come back tonight and let you guys know my final thoughts. So now I'm gonna go in with my favorite bronzer, which is the Absolute New York Pro bronzer. This is in the color dark. It has like little reflex in it, so in the sun it just gives you a very sun-kissed look, which I love. And on top of that, y'all, it is super affordable. This is something you get at like your local beauty supply store. I think it costs no more than $10. For blush today, I'm gonna go in with Pinch O Pink, which is a discontinued blush from MAC. Okay, so I don't want to add too much powder to the rest of the face. I think I'm just going to keep it at bronzer and just keep it pushing, because this is supposed to be a skin glow, and I really want to see how this foundation performs with not a whole lot of powder. So I'm going to do my eyes off camera and come back and show you guys the final look. Hey y'all, I am back looking like a grease pot. So y'all, it is about 7.5 hours later and I'm pretty oily. I'm not shocked because this was obviously the Skin Glow formula. So yeah, 7.5 hours later, it's just really oily. I have been cooking and stuff, baking, so that probably contributed to some of it. But I will say that my skin still looks pretty good. The foundation didn't like exaggerate my pores or anything like that. It didn't cause my pores to look larger or anything like that, so that's a good thing. But I will say this, like you see how I'm blotting the foundation, it doesn't look like Skin Glow. So after like about 5 or 6 hours, it did start to look oily, but it never did get that glowy look. It looks like a soft matte finish, not really like Skin Glow. To me, it doesn't. Other than that, I mean, when you blot it, it still looks pretty good. So, I mean, I'm not mad at the foundation. If this was a foundation that I would want to wear for my skin in particular, and I don't have super oily skin, my skin is normal. So if I was gonna wear this like as an all day foundation, I would definitely put a mattifying primer underneath to kind of help control some of that oil. That's what you could do. Doesn't look bad at all. I actually like it. I took pictures earlier after I did my makeup and they came out so great. It's a nice foundation. I wouldn't say that it gives like a skin glow, but it's a nice foundation. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Watch some of my other videos, y'all. I got some different stuff going on. So until next time, I'll see y'all later.